Welcome everyone. Today's video, we're going to go over some of my absolute favorite games that I've ever played. This is going to be part one probably because I have so many favorite games, but I really wanted to share with you guys because I just really love these games and yeah, I wanted to bring you guys in on it. So we're going to start with this game. This is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace for PS1. Let me tell you about this game, because it drove me freaking bananas for the longest time. And if you want to know why that is, this is one of those games that doesn't tell you what to do. And it's also from that era where you only have a certain amount of deaths until the entire game restarts. So I'd be doing good in the first level, maybe die on the second level once, and I'm like, okay, I really gotta focus up. And then bang, 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 bang. I would die the second time. I got so good at that first level, I had just never got good enough at the second. Without cheat codes, the second level is the furthest I ever got. Now with cheat codes, you can turn on invincibility. I literally bought a PlayStation 1 just so I could use cheat codes on this game. This game drove me to buy a whole system so that I could finally finish it. And yeah, I could have watched videos, but come on. I played this as a kid. I had to finish it as an adult. I had to. If you didn't notice, I have a Fairy Tail shirt on, which is the anime I'm kind of in a not love-hate relationship, but like a love, not pay attention to kind of relationship. But next is the game that I played the most as a kid by far. Lego Star Wars, the video game. And if you're wondering what that is the first 3 levels out of the complete saga game, or this is 2023, so the Skywalker saga. But those aren't technically the same games. They play a lot different. But I would find myself playing this all the time, and I didn't know how to unlock level 4 for the longest time, so I just pretty much played, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna 100% this game because I play it so much. And then episode 4 unlocked just the first episode, like part of it. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I wonder if there's like a second game. And there eventually would be. And I'm pretty sure there was actually already a second game out. Could be wrong about that. There was Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, which my friend had and I freaking loved. But I never have played it yet. I haven't gotten to play it yet, so it didn't quite make this video. Next up, we've got Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity. Twinsanity. And I sold at the end there. But this was one of my absolute favorite games when I got it. I had never really played a Crash Bandicoot game before this. And this boss right here that my middle finger is pointing to, I remember that boss so vividly. That is one of the main parts of this game I remember super vividly. I don't think I ever finished this because as a kid I really wouldn't finish games all the way through other than Star Wars. But it was a lot of fun. Quick story, I actually got a new version of this game for less than $1, brand new, completely factory sealed, never opened. It was in my neighbor's garage and she just let me have it. She's like, just $1. And I'm like, okay. I will do that. Next. We've got Def Jam Fight for New York. This game drove me bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I got through so much of this game, but I just got to a certain point where it's like, I literally can't do this. This was back when I was like actually decent at like remembering combos and stuff, but now I'm just kind of like a button masher when it comes to these type of games, and that means I'm terrible at them. But this, I remember when I got this and just playing through it all the time. And honestly, it was one of the first games where I had to like remember combos, and it was just really cool. You could like customize your character and everything. You could customize your attributes. It was really cool. I hope one day I get to play these all on like a live stream or something. I don't even know, like that's so far down the road. I just launched the channel. Alright, next up. No, you can't see yet. You cannot see yet. But if you think of a game that was for PS2 Star Wars related, what would it be? Battlefront 2. My absolute favorite Battlefront game of all time. Now the crazy part is Battlefront 2 for the PS4 is my second favorite Battlefront game. I think they did a really good job on that with the story mode and just the online game modes. To be fair, I did like the first PS4 Battlefront game, but that's only because I really enjoyed the physics behind the space battles. That was by far my favorite game mode on that game. Other than that, big yikes. But I remember being like getting to play as a Jedi. Like you had to work your way up towards it. Or there was one game mode where you could just be Jedi versus Jedi. And it was so freaking cool. But let's move on to Assassin's Creed. It was bound to happen that there was an Assassin's Creed game in this video. I'm a big fan of history, and I honestly feel like Assassin's Creed is a big contributor to that. And why do you say the third one? This was my absolute favorite subject in history when I was playing through the game. The Revolutionary War is one of my all-time favorite history lessons that I've ever learned, and I like to learn about it from like here and then now. But basically, Connor is my favorite protagonist in any Assassin's Creed game. I've always been a fan of Native Americans as well, and just the idea of, everything that Native Americans think, being part of the land, just not using like muskets and stuff. I'm not a huge like gun person. I really think it'd be really dope if we went back to swords. That would be really cool, because then it's like you gotta challenge someone to a duel. And now with a gun, you gotta like know your stuff. But next, we are dealing with Call of Duty. This was another one that was bound to come up. But my all-time favorite Call of Duty game is Black Ops 2. Now, you may be wondering, why, Scotty? Let me tell you. This is the game that I got a PS3 to play. Like, before I got this game, the most recent system I had was a Wii, and I got the PS3 right when this came out. So what is that, like 2013? I think so. So I got this, and I got to play with my friends all the time, and just really enjoy my time with it. I really loved the campaign. I really enjoyed the online. Peacekeeper, Target Finder was the GOAT. The AN-94 with the Target Finder was also the GOAT. The Target Finder was just super fun. It was cheesy, but it was fun. And then the DMR was my favorite sniper to quickscope with. I was an absolute lethal quickscoper in this game. I can't really do it as much anymore. I can pull it off sometimes when I even choose to play Call of Duty these days. But like, I was literally in like a clan dedicated to quickscoping with my friends. It was really cool. This was like the most camaraderie game I've ever owned that wasn't a sports game. Alright, we're getting into some of my platinum trophy games. So I loved them. Spider-Man, this game was so amazing. This is one of the first platinum trophies I ever got. Not the first one, because that goes to Astro's Playroom for the PS5 because I feel like that's a lot of people's first platinum. It's just such a fun little game, but this game has such fun gameplay and it has such great animations and story, and it all comes together to make this chef's kiss of a game. Alright, next up, we're getting a little controversial here, but Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I played this game the night it came out, and I only ran into one game-breaking bug, and once I reloaded the game, it was gone. So I was one of the very lucky few that got to play this game without really any problems. I did not play it on PS4, let me just say that. I played it on PC, but I eventually got it on PS4 because I'm like, it's $5. Yes, please, because I 100%ed it on Steam, but then I went back and I was like, you know what? Doing all those menial tasks wasn't enough. Let me go and do it again on the PS4. I actually believe I did the PS5 edition because the upgrade was out when I started to play it. But very fun game. I really liked the story. When the story first came out, or when the game first came out, the story was amazing and something that I really needed. I believe it was like the end of 2020, and it's just this story of love, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I needed this so badly. It has been a year. Next up, we've got a more recent, I believe this was my 20th platinum trophy. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. I have not played the DLC, but this is one of my favorite gameplays of all time. Probably right behind Spider-Man as like that type of action-packed gameplay. Second, we will go over the next one and probably the next part because this is already a little long, but just the whole samurai thing, finding everything, the mini boss battles, the main boss battles, the con, they knew what they were doing when they went into this. I did not play the DLC, like I said, but it was so worth the platinum. Next up, we've got GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. And I feel like a lot of people have played a lot of this game and don't have it on their favorite list, which is weird. But I mean, it's just a really enjoyable time when you're chilling with your friends. You know, a lot of memories were made on this game as well, with a whole new friend group from the PS3 Black Ops 2 days. Let's be real, that's most of our stories. But I just remember, you know, driving around in my armored Kuruma. I was the wheelman and I drove everybody, and we did the missions and we did all the DLC and everything, and we just like chill in the car driving around singing with each other. It was so much fun. But eventually we moved on to like 2K, and then it got a little a lot more competitive, let's put it that way. Now you've probably been eyeing this game while it's been slightly in camera. Battlefront II. When this first came out, many of you would not have agreed with me, and fair. But I really like the story in this game. I think Aiden's story overall in her arc was really good. I really enjoy the online components as well. This one, I didn't enjoy the star fighting as much. Like, I didn't enjoy being a pilot as much, but there were other game modes that tided me over for the meantime in place of those. And actually one of my favorite missions on the PS2 edition was actually the fighters as well. So this is the first Battlefront game that I was not a huge fan of the just piloting aspect. Alright, and you've probably been wondering, Scotty, you really have Spider-Man, but you don't have Miles Morales. Get out of here. Yes, I do. The PS5 edition, launch edition, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. This game was freaking fantastic. I really enjoyed this game. Honestly, like, there's a reason I don't review games, because I just really love things, and it's like, how do you put that into words? But the swinging mechanic, I platinumed the game. The platinum doesn't require you to do just menial stuff. Like, it's all super fun. The gameplay from Spider-Man came into Miles Morales, and then we got to learn more about Miles because we first met him in Into the Spider-Verse, right? But this is one of my favorite Spider-Men, and it's because of the movie. I wouldn't say it's because of the game, because the game story wasn't like my favorite. It was really good, but it wasn't like top 5 favorite games of ASMR Scotty. But it was definitely up there. For PlayStation alone, it's in top 5, but overall, finally we get into the game that I have platinumed way too many times. Persona 5. This, I have platinum. The story, I gotta tell you the story. So my friend is the one that recommended this game to me. And basically I told him, I'm like, alright, I'll check it out. So I bought it when it was on sale, just the original Persona 5. For the PS4, not for the PS3, but for the PS4. And I started it, and I'm like, this isn't really for me. I didn't really get past the first interrogation scene, because I was never a fan of like turn-based RPGs. But then he's like, for months, he just badgered me. He's like, bro, you gotta play this, bro, you gotta play this, bro, you gotta play this, bro, you gotta play this. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll give it like until the first palace. And then he's like, that's all I ask, is just play till the end of the first palace. And after the first palace, I'm like, yo, that's messed up. Like, I hope it gets better from here. Like, I hope the whole game isn't this dark. But that is one of the darker ones. I was super excited when I heard that this was getting a PS5 release, because after I finally platinum Persona 4, which is a lot harder than Persona 5 Royale for PS4, it made me want to play the PS4 version of Persona 5 Royale so much more, because I was like, that'll be light work. And it would have been if I would have maxed out the guidance counselor. But I didn't, and he left the school, and I didn't know you needed to max him out in order, or just get him to rank 7, I believe. And I was like, bro, this is the same ending. Why am I playing the same ending? Like, we got a little bit of a new character with Kasumi, but the guidance counselor was just like, why is he even here? And then I looked it up because I finished the game, and I realized the reason it was the same ending was because you need to rank up the guidance counselor. So I had to play it again. I had played Persona 5, the original PS4 version, twice, because that has to be done. It takes 2 playthroughs to get that platinum. But Persona 5 Royale is not supposed to be played twice in order to get the platinum. It should be able to be done in 1 playthrough. Not for me. But I did get the platinum, silver lining, and now I have the PS5 edition because there was like nothing good for Black Friday for 2022. So I'm just like, let me just get this upgrade, have another like 80 hours of fun, get the platinum, and just enjoy my time, which I have yet to do. I've started it up. I thought about doing ASMR on it, maybe in a live stream, and there's so many games. I love so many games, and this was just my first video game collection video, and I can't wait to show you the next group of games. But for now, this is ASMR Scotty signing out.